What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining me in today's video. We will go over the steps on how to create a simple rock paper scissors game. And first, I have here already made a file with rock paper and scissors ASCII art, which we will be able to print while playing the game. I have made it into a list so we can index into it. Now we will create a new file called rpsgame.py, and we will go ahead and write the code for the game in here. So first of all, we will import images from the RPS ASCII file that I have already created. So we will type in from RPS ASCII, import images, and also we will import the randint function from the random module. So we can let the computer choose a random number. Now that that's done, we will print the menu. Okay, now that the menu is printed with all the choices labeled, next is get the user's input. Okay, so we will ask the user to choose between numbers 1 to 3 to be able to play the game, and we will also convert it into an integer to make sure that we can index into the list where we have the images stored. Now we will put an if statement so to validate the input. So if the input is not equal to or more than 1, and also it is not greater than or equal to 4, what we will do is just print out a statement that says that it's an invalid input. Okay, and now that we have that statement handled, what we will need to check for is any errors. So for example, if a client enters a letter instead of a number and it cannot be converted into an integer, we will use the try and accept statements to make sure we have the correct data type entered, or if we do run into an error, to handle it accordingly. So we'll put down accept value error, because this is what happens if you put a letter instead of a number. It cannot be converted, and we will write down that it's invalid input and please enter a number. So just before we write the while true loop, we will put continue statements just after the print functions are done, so that we can restart the loop from the beginning if these errors do happen. And we will go ahead and put a while true loop, so the loop runs infinitely. Alright, now that's done and the user's choice is validated. What we will do next is get the computer's choice, and we will use the randint function to get the computer's choice randomly selected. Okay, the randint function takes two arguments, one where you want to start to count from, and the second one is where you want to end, including those numbers. So I put 1 to 3, so we'll get a random number between 1 and 3. So now we will go ahead and compare the choices, but first check if the user has decided to quit the game. So we can handle that if statement right away. So if the user choice equals to 4, what we will do is print thanks for playing and then break out of that loop, which will close this program. Now that that's handled, next we will check if the user and computer choice are equal to each other. In that case, it would be a tie. So what we will do next is check for all the winning combinations for the user. So we'll put down elif user choice is 1, which would be rock, and computer choice would be choice number 3, which would be scissors. That would mean the user wins. And then or user choice is true, which would be paper, and then the user would win in that case if the computer's choice is rock, so computer's choice is 1, or the third line would be if user choice is 3, which would be scissors, and computer choice is number 2, which would be paper. Okay, so in these cases the user wins. So if any of these are true, we will print that you win, or else if there's any other hand, that would mean the computer wins. So we will put else, print you lose. And we'll put some backslash n's in there just to get a few lines in the terminal. Okay, now that we have all the logic down, we will need to print out the ASCII art as per the choice of user and the computer. So what we will do is we will go ahead and print the ASCII art just after if the user wants to quit the game to break out of the loop. So we will type print u, and then we'll go ahead and print computer. And now just below each of those choices we'll go ahead and print the corresponding ASCII art. So we will write print images, because we are accessing the images list inside the rps ASCII.py file, and we will put down in square brackets the index as user choice -1, because we are choosing from 1 to 3, and the list goes from 0 to 2, because lists do start from 0. And the same for the computer. We will go ahead and tap into the images list and go into the index of computer choice -1 also. And in the middle we'll print a line so we can separate the two hands. Okay, so that all seems to be completed. What we will do now is we'll test the code. So we'll run this file, the menu prints perfectly, everything is clear, and we will go ahead and choose option 1 first. And it works. I'll just make the terminal a bit bigger so we can see everything. And it looks like the first game we lost. It says we had rock, computer had paper, and we lost. So we'll try again. Now we chose paper, the computer had scissors, we lost again. And we play again, and we had scissors and computer had paper, and now in this case we win. Okay, we try again, and we have got rock and computer. Okay, we tried number 5 and it says invalid input. To try again, which is great, so it is handling that error. And then if we type in cat, it also says the same invalid input, please enter a number. And for dot and any special characters, the same. Okay, so we click the program, it says thanks for playing, so everything seems to be working as intended. Now that the program is running properly, what we will do is clean up the code and put some of the logic away into functions, so we can separate the main function and the other functions that we use to make the code more readable. So we'll go ahead. At the top we'll create a main function where our main logic will be held, and then we will indent all of this. Okay, name equals main, we'll then call the function main. The reason we do this is because we want to make sure that this program only runs when this script is run, and not it doesn't run if it is imported. Okay, so that's sorted. We will make a new function for users input, and we'll go ahead and take all that logic to validate the user's input and store it away in a function, and we'll name that function get user choice. Okay, so we'll put basically the same logic into this function by trying to convert the user's input into an integer, and if there are any errors, instead of continuing, what we will do is we'll make this function have a while loop instead. So we will only return from this function instead of continuing if the entered input is actually what we do expect. Okay, we'll remove these continue statements as they are no longer needed in this case, and we will then make a while true loop. So this function loops infinitely until we get the input that's actually valid, and we can then return with that input. We'll change this to free in a minute. So first, write down if user choice is 4, we'll return from this function with the user choice. So it returns number 4. Okay, in this case we'll note that we need to end the game, and then in the next line we'll put down elif, remove the not statement, and if the user choice is between 1 and 3 in this case, we'll go ahead and return the number that was chosen. Now this print statement will have to go in another elif statement, so now we'll return user choice if it is indeed validated and correct, else we will print that the input was indeed invalid, or if we do get a value error, we will also print that invalid input was added and the user needs to enter a number. Okay, so that seems to be all sorted, and remove this, and we will call the get user choice function and store the return digit into user's choice. Okay, so this way it's a little bit more cleaner and more readable. So we get the user's choice and we get computer choice right next to each other. Now, if user choice is returned as 4, we'll leave it as the same. We will print thanks for playing, and we'll break out of the main functions loop. Now, next what we will do is this display where we are printing the images and store that in a function called display. And we will have two arguments. In this case, we will get the choice, so we know which image to display, to print, and we will also have the role, which will just print if it's the user or if it's the computer's choice. So first we will print the role of whose hand it is, and on the next line we'll print the actual image. So we'll go into the images list and go into the index of choice -1. And just for good measure, we'll print a line underneath just so we can separate everything from the images. Okay, so this function seems to be complete now. We'll then replace the \n, and we'll go ahead and replace all of these print statements with the function. So we'll just comment to print art, and we'll call the display function, and for arguments the first one we'll put user choice, comma u in quote marks, and then just below that we will call the display function again and put computer choice, comma computer. Okay, so that all seems to be correct. Okay, so we got the main function and we got the other two functions. We are calling the main, so all seems correct. So we'll test this code now again, and it is printing the menu correctly. I'll make the terminal bigger and try to play the game. So first I got rock, computer has paper, and we lose. Another one, we got paper, computer has scissors, we lose. Play again, we got scissors, computer has paper, we win. And now try again, we win. And try some wrong input, so number 5. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Now if we put letters, it's asking us to put a number. Absolutely perfect. We'll go ahead and close this game. We choose number 4. It says thanks for playing. And that's all. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something new. Please do not forget to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time in the next tutorial. Thank you again.